Hey there, friends. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, in my world, and whatever day in your world when you're watching this. I hope you're having the most amazing day ever. And today I wanted to get into, I did a 3-card spread today for basically grief. So I did it for grief and growth, and what my favorite tarot spread for moving forward is. And I have 3 cards that are some of my favorites, 2 especially, and I pulled them to give me a little clarity, and so I want to share that with you. So grab a snack and come on back. So hi friend, welcome back. Alexis and Yappy here. And today is a special video for me. You know, I'm looking down because I write notes. I write notes for everything that I do, just to give me some structure and help push me along so I don't miss anything. And on today's video here, it's basically grief and growth. You know, like my tarot spread for moving me forward. Because I've talked about it here before, about the loss of my mother and how I grieved. June 7th is going to make 4 years since she's been gone, and how I grieved so hard for those first 3.5 years until I went to the Moon Magic with the beautiful, more intuitive me, Elizabeth, and the beautiful Roots and Waves, my bestie Ange, and I released that, and that just lifted so much off of me. And I was thinking, I'm like, you know, I need to try and pull a tarot spread for myself and see, you know, how I feel about it and everything. So I want to share that here, the tarot spread that helped me move forward, you know, during one of the hardest times of my life. Because after loss and after grief and after feeling like the pieces, you know, are too broken to pick up, then you start to get a little clarity. And tarot became my tool, and doing things mostly online before I got my hand on the cards that I have. My first decks from beautiful Nancy at Crohn's Intuition, my beautiful, beautiful friend here. And so I decided that I would pick a deck. And the deck that I chose, of course, was the tarot deck that Nancy gifted me. And this is like a learning deck. I do want to get one that doesn't have all the symbolism and things around it so that I can really hone in my intuitive skills. But I was using that deck today, and also I have my Preonite, which helps with intuition. You know, it really, really helps. And I have that here, and I have rose quartz because I cannot find my crystals. I have clear quartz, I have lapis, I have all of them, all of my chakra stones. I can't find them, so I'm using this. I need a piece of selenite, so I'm just using that, you know, to help me a little bit. And so today I want to guide you through, you know, a gentle heart-centered spread that supported me, and maybe it will support you too on your own healing. You know, after I lost my mom, I felt completely unanchored because my mom was our North Star here, and she was she was the one holding us all together, right? Even though I was 56 when my mother passed, I still consider her being that she was the matriarch and the one that always kept us together. She was my ride or die chick. You know, she was there always for Zoe and I. Always, always, always. You know, and I really felt so untethered. You know, I felt like I just couldn't get it together. And I couldn't see beyond the next hour, let alone the future. I couldn't see beyond that after my mother passed. The devastation and the crying, you know, every day, that grief. And like I say, grief is love with nowhere to go. And my mother wasn't here for me to love on her anymore. And that crying, I mean, I just couldn't help it. I cried incessantly, you know, incessantly. I just couldn't stop. And my poor Zoe, I felt so bad for her because she would just look at me. She didn't know what to say. She didn't know what to do to help me. You know, she didn't know. And there was nothing that she could do. I just had to get it out of my system. And anything I see or anything that reminds me of my mother, I smell her perfume now every so often. You know, I'm starting to really feel her presence here with me always. I wear her diamonds here, and I'm wearing her bracelets and everything. She's always around me. Her earrings, these are hers. I mean, she's always around me, right? And so this spread in particular, became like a ritual for me. And it offered me insight, compassion, and eventually hope that I could get through this, you know. And in the quiet, tear-filled evenings, oh my goodness, and days, you know, I just began to like hone my intuition, try to pull some cards like online or study different things because I didn't have actual physical cards for me to pull yet. And I just started doing that, you know. And then recently, once I had the physical cards here, I started doing that and just trying to familiarize myself. I don't do a lot here with the cards. I do a lot with the Oracle because I love the Oracle and I really, really resonate with the Oracle. And I resonate with the Tarot too because I've always wanted to do the Tarot. And I resonate with it too, but I just really feel like for myself, it's really for me and how I feel. And I'm a different reader from anybody in this tarot tube. I'm so different, you know, and I'm just different, period. And the way I do everything, I just have to do it my way. You know, it's not the traditional way, you know, but it's my way. And the first card, you know, I kind of asked, like, what part of me needs the most compassion right now, right? What part of me needs the most compassion right now? And, you know, really, when I picked the cards, right? This card really surprised me, and it's a card of mourning. It's the card for mourning, and that was the Five of Cups. And this is the first card that I chose, the Five of Cups. And this card, the key words to this card are disappointment and mourning, regret, loss, grief. And I just knew that. And also this card, the astrology for this card is in Scorpio. And that's very meaningful to me because my mother's a Scorpion. My mother's birthday is 11/11. And that's why everything around me is always 11/11. My email address is everything. Everything focuses on 11/11 for me. And the Five of Cups speaks deep, like I said, to, you know, sorrow, regret, loss, right? And the struggle, you know, it's the struggle to shift your focus from what's been lost to what still remains. Because we have to remember that, you know, yes, we've lost this person. I lost my mother, my everything. You know, she was my everything, my everything. She and Zoe were my everything. And I lost her at a time when, you know, I just was in not a good headspace. And I was so mean to her, you know, not physically and not verbally towards her, but my voice to myself when I would speak to my daughter about her, it just sounded so mean. I was listening to some old messages and I sounded just hateful and terrible. And she couldn't help it. You know, she was sick and she couldn't help it. And I really, really had to come to terms with that, with myself, you know, being the way that I was. And I had to really give myself grace and forgive myself because I was stressed. Stressed being the caregiver of my mom, you know, getting Zoe back and forth to work, being the caregiver for Zoe, the caregiver for my mom. You know, like I mentioned, I'm that sandwich generation, right? I'm the mom and I'm the daughter, but also now the mom to my mom. And she used to call me mommy. You know, in the end, yeah. In the end, she called me mommy. She called me mommy. Yeah. She did. She did. You know, she would say mommy. So yeah, these cards just helped me so much, so much, so much, And this card, for me, it asks for tenderness, towards the part of you that's still holding grief. It asks for the tenderness. That's how I feel. The tenderness of you who's still holding that grief within you. And, it's okay to mourn. It's okay to mourn what was. It's okay to mourn what was. And it's okay not to be okay and to give yourself grace. It's okay. Take it from me. It's okay. I still have my moments. I haven't cried. This is the first time, when I pulled these cards, I was like, oh, and, making my notes and everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness, and Spirit gave me these cards and just like, wow, wow. So just give yourself grace. I learned that every day, to give myself grace in everything. Grace in this grief that I feel for my mother. Grace in my weight loss journey, how slow it is for me gaining a few pounds and now having to lose those again. But I feel great. I'm doing great. So I don't beat myself up. I give myself grace. When I want something, I have it. I was telling my sister-in-law yesterday that I don't deprive myself. We have to give ourselves grace. It's not the end of the world because I ate a slice of pizza or I ate a piece of fried chicken or I had french fries. It's not the end of the world. It's just food. It's just food. And you just have to manage that for yourself. Just like this grief, it's love. It's love. And I know that now I'm more in control of that because I released my guilt that I had over the death of my mother and her being sick and me not knowing. I'm not a doctor. I would have never known. I'm not a cardiologist or a cardiothoracic surgeon or any of those things. How would I have known about her heart? I would not have known. And at that point, when it got so far gone, she couldn't articulate that to me. And so there's no way that I would have known. And she didn't know. She didn't know that it was her heart. She thought she had anxiety and different things. And so I give myself grace now because I'm like, I did the best. I was a good daughter and I did the best I could for my mother. And I know that I did. And I know that she knows that I did too. She knows. And she always told me that. She always told me that, I was the best, and she never wanted for anything. Whatever she needed or wanted, we got it for her. And I got it for her always, always, always. What energy, I asked, my next question was, what energy can I lean into, to move forward, right? And, no, I take that back. I did ask that question, but the next question, because the next card that came out went with this. What strength is quietly growing within me, right? Because what card came out? My card. The strength card. This is my card. This is my card. In every deck, I resonate with this card. This is my card. The strength card. The lion there. I'm a Leo. I'm a lion. I'm a lion. A lion. Yes. And this card resonates with me hard. It resonates with me hard. And the key words to this card are inner strength, control, confidence, courage, and bravery. The bravery to get through this, right? And also, this is the number 8 card. And my birthday is 8. I was born in the 8th month. So this card resonates with me all across the board. All across the board. I just, I love this card so much. I just love it so much. And of course, this card is Leo. The astrology sign for this card is Leo. And the astrology sign for this card is Scorpio. How more perfect can this be? How more perfect can this be? The cards don't lie, people. They don't lie. And this card, it means power and strength and control. And control. And the card that goes with this card is the next card that's coming up, right? Which I couldn't make this up. I just couldn't make this up, right? You know, this is such a beautiful and a powerful pull for me. This whole thing. But so these beautiful, powerful pull, right? Beautiful, powerful pull for me. Strength for me is not loud, right? Because I could be loud and I'm boisterous and I'm everything. But strength for me is quiet. It's endurance. That's what this card means for me. It's quiet. It's endurance. Emotional resilience and self-compassion. That's what this means to me. That's what this strength card means to me, especially in this situation when I asked for the strength, you know, to quietly get me through this, you know, to just quietly give me the strength, you know, to get me growing through this. And this card just says, you know, even when you feel broken, you know, like something steady and unshakable, you know, when something steady and unshakable, I wrote in my notes, when something steady and unshakable is rising up in you, this card, this is strength. You pull from this card. Your healing is your strength, and I'm healing every day. When I released into the moon magic, Elizabeth wrote my name on the paper, the guilt, she wrote that, and she threw it into that fire, and the sparks and the flames came up. That was a release for me. And my mother was there. She was there with me that night, and she said, yes. She said, yes, baby, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. She told me I didn't. She told me I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. And I know that I did it. You know, I felt so good that night. I released it all. I released it all. You know, I released it all. I don't have my cloth here. I don't have my cloth. But maybe that's not the cloth for this. These aren't really, they're kind of sad tears too. So I guess I don't need the cloth for that. Cloth are for happy tears, right? Your tear cloth is for happy tears. And the card that goes with this card, I mean, what energy can I lean into to move forward? And you know what the card is. If you know the cards, you know what goes with the strength card. The star, the star. I got the star. I got the star card. And this card, you know, the key words for this card is hope and positivity, renewal, inspiration, healing, faith. My mother always had her faith, and she taught me how to always have my faith and trust my instincts and trust my gut, and to call on my angels and saints to help me, that I do every single day. You know that video I did yesterday with the archangels? Yes. I call on them every day. You know, I call on them every day to help me get through and to just guide me in life. You know, my divine spirit prayer, you know, I just said it before I started filming. Divine spirit within me, move me in the direction of my highest good this day. Move me in the direction of my highest good this day. You know, just help me to be my best, do my best, serve my best here, so that I can have the best day ever and the best experience ever today. It's only for today. Tomorrow is another day. Yesterday is gone. It's about the present. It's about now. It's about today. It's about today. You know, hope, renewal, divine guidance. The star reminds us that there's light. There is light after darkness. That's what the star is about. You know, it's about light. Light after darkness. And it can mean other things too. It could go in a darker place if she comes out in the reverse. I don't ever read cards in the reverse, because for me, I want everything on that positive high trajectory. You know, I'm trying to reach this fifth dimension. I want everything positive and high. I'm not trying to focus on the darkness. And I noticed that when I was watching the beautiful live last night with Moon Scarab, Ramon, and our beautiful Selena, my beautiful sister Selena, Essence of the Moon. And she said, you know, she doesn't focus on the darkness. That's not what her witchy powers and her things are for. She doesn't focus on the darkness. And I don't focus on the darkness. I really don't. I'm all about the light. Everything is not moonbeams and sunshine and rainbows, but I try to always look for that positivity, right? I always look for that hope, the positivity, the renewal, the inspiration, the healing, my faith to guide me through always, always. You know, this card invites you to lean into the faith. It invites you to lean into faith, whether that's spiritual, like I said, or intuitive, you know, with my preonite, whether that's intuitive, you know, or simply the belief that better days are coming. That's what I wrote down. Better days are coming. The belief that better days are coming. That's what this card is all about. That's what the star card is all about. The star asks you like to trust your path. Trust your path, even if the way forward is still unfolding, because it's still unfolding for me. The way forward is still unfolding for me. This is not the end of anything. This is the beginning. I am just starting my life. I'm getting ready to be 61. I mean, the sky is the limit, including all the stars. The sky is the limit for me. Everything is just starting to unfold for me. I'm releasing all the negative energy and all the BS that everybody puts on me and all of that. And I'm living my life with hope and positivity and renewal, inspiration, healing and faith always, 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 always. I hope that, you know, something in this video resonated with you. I know so many people are dealing with grief, and it doesn't mean that somebody has actually died in your life, but that can mean the loss of a friendship. That can mean the loss of a parent who maybe you all don't align with each other, you know, and that can mean that, you know, the loss of, you know, anything. It doesn't have to be a physical, as in you're putting somebody in the ground, or you've cremated someone and that person is gone from you permanently, right? Which she'll never be gone from me permanently. She's always here. Gang, gang, baby. Gang, gang. My mother is here. My ancestors are here. My spirit and guides are here. My angels and saints are here. Father God above, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, all of them, they're all here with me. These are all the people that I align myself with, and they are here with me, gang, gang, always pushing me forward, always giving me that positivity, knowing that I have my faith in them, and I speak to them every single day, every day, without fail. That's the first thing I do every day, and I do it consecutively throughout the day, And my key times of the day are 11:11, because that was my mom. That is my mom. I speak to her every day at 11:11. And 1:11. And my life path number is a 1. And I am surrounded by 1s in my life. 3:33, that's my daughter's birthday, 3:3. The age that I was when I gave birth to her, the age that my mother was when she gave birth to me. Those numbers. These are the times of the day when I stop everything and I say my prayer. I speak to my spirit and my guides. Yes, I do it every day, all day. It helps me get through. I couldn't get through life without that. I could not get through life without that. And I speak to my mother every day. I couldn't get through if I didn't. I don't know where I would be. Probably in a home. For people that are not too stable, because I wouldn't be able to make it. When my mother passed, I always said as a child growing up, I knew that if my daddy passed, which he did 27 years ago, July will make 27 years. I knew that when he passed, that I would be sad and I would miss him being a daddy's girl, being the baby girl, but I knew that it would never be, I could get over that. I never get over it, but it didn't take me down. Losing my mother, that took me down. That I knew, and I would always say as a child, I'm like, if something happens to my mother, I'm either going to have to go with her or it's just going to take me out. But I had Zoe, and that changed everything for me because I'm never going to leave Zoe. And I couldn't let myself just totally fall apart. I had to try and make it, and I had to. And I made it 3.5 years until I met my bestie, and until I met Elizabeth, and they helped me. And I will forever be grateful to them. Forever be grateful to them for that moon magic that they do, because it's so special. And the next moon magic, it's coming up soon. I know there's one. And there's one in July. I mean, there's one on July 10th. And there's one on, which would be good for me because that's the month that my father passed. And I'm really looking forward to that. But June 11th is moon magic. And that is the day that my daughter's father is being laid to rest, that day. So that's a powerful day. That is a powerful day. And I know, I hope that they will have a moon magic because I will need to release a lot of things on that day. And I'm hoping that my daughter will too. So yes, yes. So these are my cards. The 5 of Cups, you know, disappointment, mourning, regret, loss, grief. But we turned it around with our Strength card, you know, turned that around. And then the Star card came out and said, girl, you have hope and positivity. Girl, get it together. You got this. You got this. So this is my 3-card spread. And I hope, you know, I just hope that it resonated with you all so much. But my 3-card spread on grief and growth. You know, this is my favorite tarot spread for moving forward. These 3 cards. So I thank you for joining me here today, Yappy and I love you all so much. You all mean the world to me here. You have changed my life in this space. And you know, I'm watching all my beautiful friends, and my beautiful Selena is just, woo! She's just soaring. I'm so proud of her. You know, I'm so proud of her. And I just want to say to you all that I love you all so much. I see you, and I'm so proud of you. We are all here trying to make it day by day. Just one step in front of the other, baby steps. You know, giving ourselves grace, having that hope and that positivity, and just moving forward with strength. And with light and resilience. We can do this. We can do this. I know you can do it. I know you can. So, on that note, I'm going to say thank you. Deuces. Yappy and Lexi out. Love you plenty, friend. Don't forget. I love you plenty. And I thank you.